Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited because I have been keeping a bit of a secret from you and I finally get to share that the House of Sillage just launched a brand new fragrance and it is the Whispers of Truth. This is the original Whispers of Truth and now they have a noir version. I'm so excited about this launch. So today what I'm going to do is a little unboxing of the Whispers of Truth Noir, give you the full rundown on this fragrance. And if you're already a fan of the House of Sillage's Whispers of Truth, then you are definitely going to want to check out the Whispers of Truth Noir. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh my goodness, I've been so excited to share information about this new fragrance. So number one, I'm already a huge fan of the Whispers of Truth. If I had to pick just one fragrance from the House of Sillage line, this would be a hard one for me, but it would be either Whispers of Truth, or I also love Tiara is my other like all-time fave from House of Sillage. And then they came out with the noir version, which as you can imagine is going to be an amped up version of my favorite Whispers of Truth, but a bit more seductive, a bit more passionate, a bit more kind of intoxicating. And this fragrance already is that. So let's first open up the box. And I just had to show you the cute little petals that they placed in here. Fantastic marketing. That was a cute little touch. And then let's open up this beauty. And this is an absolute stunner, you guys. Let me bring this up, give you some close-ups because the cupcake top is magnificent. So to be honest, I love the cupcake of the original Whispers of Truth and didn't know if they could top it, but this is just gorgeous. So take a quick look at this gorgeous cupcake case. I love the color scheme, the rich ruby, the emerald green. It is just pure luxe. This is encrusted with over 200 hand-placed diamond-cut Swarovski crystals. The top is black enamel and gold-plated in 18-karat yellow gold. The black finished glass is made in France and hand-polished. Inside this beautiful bottle is a perfume concentrate with 25% oil. Then when you open it up, you'll see the beautiful cap here. It's engraved with Whispers of Truth Noir. And then one more look at this beautiful cap. So one of the things that you're also getting when you purchase a House of Sillage perfume is you're also getting a piece of art. But the good news is that the fragrances mirror the outstanding packaging. So yes, these cupcakes are pieces of art. They're collector's items. They are just gorgeous. But the good news is that the fragrance is as amazing as the cupcake itself. So I'm going to go ahead and spray a little on a tester strip. And this was a love at first sniff kind of scent for me. So first of all, let me tell you, I'm already a fan of the Whispers of Truth. So in order to describe this new Whispers of Truth Noir, I feel like I need to give you a little description of Whispers of Truth, the original. And this is a beautiful kind of citrus floral with this beautiful caramel richness. It's got a little bit of musk in it. It's got grapefruit, bergamot. The florals in here are rose and jasmine. So this fragrance on its own has a very addictive quality. This has been compared to the classic Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is the Baccarat Rouge 540, and I would say that there's definitely kind of that intoxicating vibe of the Baccarat 540, but it doesn't have that kind of medicinal note in here. They both have that kind of burnt caramel kind of note that is just so intoxicating. And I personally prefer the Whispers of Truth, the way it wears on me, better than my Baccarat 540. But if you can kind of get those vibes, if you're familiar with that, it's just a beautiful citrusy, beautiful rich rose, jasmine, and then of course it's got this rich caramel or burnt sugar kind of smell to it. So now we can move on to the Whispers of Truth Noir, and it still has the beautiful elements of the original Whispers of Truth. So when I first smelled this, you guys, it just had this beautiful kind of rich smoke element to it. It definitely has sort of suede or leather notes in it. And I felt like the spices were amped up a bit. So it's exactly what you would kind of imagine as sort of a noir nighttime version of this Whispers of Truth. This is very intoxicating, very sensual. It's definitely going to leave you with this intoxicating trail all around you. But I'm someone who would wear this during the day, so just don't want to throw you off. I don't think that this fragrance is just something that you could wear strictly in the evening. Definitely has a more elegant kind of nighttime vibe to it. This is definitely the perfect scent to wear with your little black dress. Absolutely. Throw on your Power Red lipstick, but I personally don't have fragrances that I like exclusively leave for kind of evening events. I just wear what I want when I want it. Okay, let's talk about the notes, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, spritz some on pulse points, and this smells so good. So when you first spray this on, you're definitely going to smell that dominant kind of grapefruit citrus. So in the opening, it has got grapefruit, it has got orange. I definitely smell those. It's also got this kind of smoky suede note, and I can smell the kind of amped up, warmer spices. So when I'm thinking about the spices, I want to almost say like a cinnamon, like something that's going to provide you with a little warmth, like a little bit of cinnamon and clove. And when I say clove, I don't want you to think of this is gingerbready or anything like that. It just is a little bit more, some warmth. So I'm going to go with more of a cinnamony kind of warm spice there. Then in the heart notes, it's got vetiver, which is one of my favorite notes. I really love vetiver kind of based fragrances. Vetiver is basically sort of like a earthy, kind of like uncut grass kind of scent. It's kind of got a greenness to it. And I really love those kind of vetiver scents. I love Chantecaille's vetiver fragrance. I love Chanel's Sycamore is one of my absolute favorites. So kind of a little bit of that green, earthy smell in the heart. It's definitely got that rich rose in it that I love. It's really deep, kind of rich rose. And then it's got leather and the smoky notes. And you definitely smell that. I kind of smelled it right when I sprayed it out. It had this deep kind of smoky element to it. It is not like too campfire. It's not too smoky, but it's definitely got that richness. It's got a little bit more of that deep kind of leather going on. So again, kind of mirroring exactly what this bottle is showing you here, this kind of rich, deep earthy scent here. And it also has Cypriol, and Cypriol has been in a few of the fragrances that I own. And Cypriol is going to give you this kind of woody, earthy scent, but it's going to be a little bit more spicy, almost a little bit more resinous, and maybe a little bit more herbaceous. So there's definitely a little bit more of this kind of rich green earthiness to the noir version. A little bit smoky, a little bit leathery. They really have added a sort of rich, smoky, resinous element to the Whispers of Truth fragrance. In the base, you still have that beautiful musk. You have that caramel note that gives it a little bit of sweetness. That's what I like. This does have a touch of caramel, burnt sugar kind of sweetness to it that I appreciate, but it's definitely tempered down by the smokiness, by the florals, by that citrus burst. It's a really pretty play on notes. It also has moss, amber, white woods, and birch. So this So the Noir version is definitely going to be a bit more woody, a little bit more earthy, and definitely more smoky and resinous. But it still has some light freshness from that grapefruit, the orange, little bergamot in there. So you still have that, and you also have that rich rose in there. So I personally really love this fragrance. As I mentioned, I love this Whispers of Truth. This is a favorite from the House of Sillage. I think they did a fantastic job of amping up and making this a little bit smokier, sexier, a little bit more seductive in the Noir version. So if you are someone who loves like kind of smoky, leathery, resinous fragrances, if you are also somebody who's already a fan of Whispers of Truth or even Baccarat 540, I feel like you are going to love this Whispers of Truth Noir. Now, I often get asked what fragrances are like similar to ones, and it's sometimes harder than others because each fragrance is kind of unique. And as far as comparisons, what I would say it is the Whispers of Truth base. But then if you are someone who likes that fragrance replica by the fireplace, I have like a little travel size of that. It smells so good, you guys, but it definitely does. It smells like you're by the fireplace, warm, cozy, a little bit smoky. I always think of kind of like making s'mores by the fireplace because there's a little bit of sweetness in this. That would be kind of the only comparison, is that they added the beautiful kind of smoky, kind of rich elements on the Whispers of Truth. So if you're someone who likes replica by the fireplace and you love Whispers of Truth or the Baccarat 540, then you are going to love this Whispers of Truth Noir. It is just a rich, kind of seductive, kind of euphoric kind of fragrance. It totally gives you that fragrance high. So if any of you know, like when you smell a fragrance and you feel sort of high afterwards, like a high on life, like it just smells so good and you're just constantly smelling yourself and just really taking it all in. This is what I would say Whispers of Truth Noir is. This would be perfect for those warm summer nights when you want to feel a little bit sultry, a little bit sexy. I would definitely pull this out. Again, as I said, I'm someone who is going to wear this during the day as well, you guys. I'm an equal opportunist. I just don't really have fragrances that I just exclusively wear in the evenings. I'm just someone who grabs perfumes when I'm in the mood for them. So if I'm in the mood for something that's going to be a little bit more rich and seductive, have a little bit of that smokiness, I'm going to grab the Whispers of Truth Noir. I think it definitely pairs well when you are wearing your favorite black outfit. That's my favorite color. Always can look kind of put together, a little bit chic, and you want something that's going to match that vibe. I think you're going to love the Whispers of Truth Noir. And it's just definitely a kind of fun, sultry take on the original Whispers of Truth, which is a true love of mine. So two beauties here, you guys. And again, let's take one last look at this beautiful bottle. I'm hoping they come out with a Whispers of Truth lipstick case. Wouldn't that be outstanding? Just absolutely gorgeous. So as far as sillage and longevity, you're definitely going to have a trail that follows you around. This lasts on my skin pretty much, you guys, 12 hours plus. It's definitely going to dry down to sort of a beautiful ambery, caramel, smoky scent, but the longevity of this fragrance is outstanding. This will definitely stay on your clothes for a few days, so definitely feel free to kind of spray it on your dress or whatever you're wearing. If you're someone who fragrances don't last a super long time, that's sort of a trick that you can do. You can spray a little bit in your bra. I know that sounds funny, but then you will have that scent kind of waft up at you all day long. So that's like a little tip for those of you that may have skin that doesn't necessarily kind of retain fragrances. But overall, this fragrance is a rich, seductive, long-lasting fragrance. I definitely don't feel like you're going to have any problems with the longevity of this fragrance. Okay guys, that is my review of the House of Sillage Whispers of Truth Noir. Let me know if you are planning on picking this up or what your favorite sort of kind of sultry, leathery, smoky fragrance is. I always love to learn from you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.